10:07. Present Bill McGowan, John Beck, Wayne Sawchuk, Lisa McGonigal, and Dan Coughlin. And I'm presuming that whoever's on the line, that might be Brian.
Yes.
Okay, so should we pick a time for our next session?
Mm-hmm.
When are we scheduled for the select board?
I want to say the 14th. That sound right?
Yes, it's 14th, September 14th, and possibly the 15th, if it runs over.
And what time? Do we have a time on that?
I don't think we have a specific time. I can check that out, though.
Okay, that is a Monday.
Tuesday. Isn't it Tuesday, Wayne?
Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, the 14th, 15th. Yeah, okay, yeah.
September, right?
The 2 weeks would be the 22nd?
Well, if we're going to meet with the select board, that will be our next meeting on the 14th.
Yeah. But then we don't have to wait another 2 weeks to schedule another one. We could schedule one for either we could schedule one for, say, the 22nd as well. And just post it after our other meeting.
Weren't the selectmen going to be, this was going to be a two-session situation, right? One where they're going to make a discussion, and then the second one was going to be a presentation to more of the public at their regular meeting or something, I thought.
Presume so, yes.
And I think that there were two recommended dates. So Lisa, on that original email, did they have that schedule of two meetings?
They did. I'll have to find that again, that email.
So we may want to wait in scheduling the second meeting until we get the first meeting done.
So it was, I believe, from what I recollect, but I'll confirm this, it was the 14th and then the 17th, with the 15th tentative in case spillover from the 14th was needed.
Can you confirm that then?
Yes.
So why don't we, if the board agrees, why don't we put the 14th and 15th on for the sewer, and then if need be, we have a follow-on meeting the following week on the 22nd.
Sounds good.
Is that all right?
Sure.
Lisa will get back with the time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Lisa, do you want to go through the agenda and we can see what's cooking?
Sure. So first on the agenda, we have the regional sewer discussion preparation for the meeting with the select board.
Mhm.
And we had CJC, and under other business, I had the abatement from a couple of weeks ago. I sent that this morning to you guys, the actual form and what he is requesting for to be abated, and then the fan noise.
Right. So, I mean, as far as regional, I think we're okay with the document, John, that you put together, and it's gone out to everyone. So I think that's a good foundation as to what we can discuss with the board, next week.
I know we got a supportive email from Mr. Davis, which is appreciated.
Yep. So I really don't think we have anything else to discuss on that until we gather next week, unless you guys have something else.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure you are.
I'm ready.
So as far as CJC, I know we don't have Rod on the line. I think he's still on vacation sailing somewhere, but I don't think there's really anything for us to discuss until it's in the balls in their court and they just have to make a decision what they want to do.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's too good. So the abatement.
Well, on the Berg abatement, I just read it. And we can't do anything with abating something in a previous fiscal year without town meeting approval. So
Right.
that changes the picture, at least for what we could consider today.
I don't think he's on the line. Lisa, did he say he was going to call in?
He did not.
No, he's not here. Okay.
Well, I don't know why it took so long to find out where his leak was. So he needs to explain further, to me at least, why it took so long to find such a big leak.
From what I recollect him saying was that they had found minor things that they kept fixing along the way, and they thought that that was what the cause of it was. And then as they were fixing things, they thought that fixed the problem, and then it continued to rise. So I think there were many things going on, and then they finally got to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I get confused though, because the graph that was done was basically done from 7/20 to, let's see. From the period 7/20/2020 to 8/18/2020. But on his bill that he presented, the reading date was 7/1/2020, where it was high. So it seems as though he's going to get two large bills. But maybe not, because because it seems as though something happened on, the amount by 8/12 or 8/14 has now gone down. But I can't understand how during the period that they reviewed it, that there were 12 times when it was in the 200 range, 7 times in the 400 range, once in the 500 range, 3 in the 600 range. So this variable on this period I can't, and Dan might be able to think, but I can't really tell what the amount of the leak was. But the amount of the leak was probably 200 versus it had gone to 600 to 500 to 300 to 200. So if you have a steady leak, it should be a line going right across.
Well, Wayne, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, it looks like, 3 to 4 to 5 serious peaks from the 2nd of August up till about 3 weeks ago. That can't be a leak. It can't be a leak and then it stops and goes away. Maybe it can. I don't know. But it just seems very odd that it would peak at that point and then drop back down to its sort of average usage.
So, because it looks as though for the last several years that it runs between, there were a couple of low ones, but basically in the 1,000 range or something. Financially,
Right.
because because his average was 971 that he deducted off of the 3276 for asking a 2304. I calculate if the previous year, a little more than a year, is averaging $1,326, that should be the amount that goes against the 32. But because we can only do this once, and I'm not really convinced that that this massive leak existed for years, because for that building, I would think that that normal, the normal bill that he has stayed for too long. We're going back to 2017.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know what, if there's any relief, it should be only on the one that he's presenting, and that's it. Because I assume that it was corrected now in the current tally that was done with the computer.
Yeah, Lisa, has he produced any receipts or invoices or what have you from anybody who attempted to fix this leak?
No.
You have requested that in the past from people,
Yeah.
if you have a good history.
So maybe Lisa, ask him about that. If he can find, well, not find, he should have, if he knows there's a leak, I would think he would have a receipt on it being repaired. And then maybe he can come back to our next session and we can discuss it.
Okay.
But I agree with John and Wayne. I mean, he's asking for stuff that we can't give him anyway, number one. And then, the graph is pretty clear that something's going on. And I don't know if he's fixed it or not.
Lisa, if you can send that stuff to me too, I'll take a peek.
Sure. The abatement form?
Yeah, I don't have any of that
Yeah, that stuff.
in the graph or whatever.
And that stuff, Lisa, that comes from the water department, I'm presuming, right?
It does, yes. And just the email from Brenda from the water department. The email said, looks like you found the leak. So I don't know.
I don't think any of us do. Okay. Are we all set with that? Any other further comment, guys?
Yeah, I'm I'm sort of flabbergasted that the bottom readings now in 16, 17, and 18 are down into the 40, the 30, 95, and 37 from hundreds. And I was looking in those, I don't know whether that something happened even more drastically in terms of on those 3 days. Because the continuous leak was not checked off for those 3 days. But that consumption seems way too low for the property. So anyway, I have no problem if you want to consider giving a single rebate and saying that's it, or for this application that you put in, or do you want to continue to sort of look at it further?
I think we look at it one more time and then we can vote as to what we want to do. And then if Dan gets all of the materials, he can weigh in as well, and then we'll just make a decision. That's okay.
Good.
Should we go on to Mr. Coggins? Well, and then we can go to the list of connections. Is that okay, guys?
Yes.
So everyone got the not a fan of the fan note that he sent out. I don't know what to say to him. I mean, I don't know what we can do. And I don't think we put a new fan in there, did we? We haven't, I don't believe.
And do you have an idea?
Yeah, I didn't get the memo, but he's talking about noise at the treatment plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically on cheese, so I'm not sure if it was, it could squeak once in a while too, if it's not, if it's over tight or the band gets worn. So I'm not really sure what they've done out there.
It sounded like he thinks that a brand new unit was installed, and it's as loud as a refrigerated truck parked next to your house. But it seems as though he might have communicated with the plant already, because he commented that, that almost implied that he had, by saying the guys are doing a good job over there and something like that. So I think it's something that we should just, I mean, the memo just came in this morning at 8:30 or so. So it's not something that I think we should just inquire of the plant. Maybe one of us go over and listen to it and see if they think that it's, you know, it's something new and stuff. And like you say, Dan, it might be some maintenance thing. It might be a belt or it's vibrating on, you know.
Right, the misalignment, you know, if they did change something or do some repairs. But, I mean, usually those fan motors aren't that large for it to sound that loud.
Right. But you're not familiar with any new fan that was put in, right? Or anything like that?
I am not.
So I think it's some maintenance type of issue then.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, why don't we do that? Why don't we just check with the plant and see what's cooking and, you know.
Okay, so who,
I'll give Scott a call.
Yeah. And I'm happy to get down and listen to it.
Yeah, no, I'm only about, I bet you I'm less than maybe 150 yards from the plant right now with the window open. And you can't hear anything with people cutting trees down and, you know, and weed whackers out there. So, you know, of course, maybe that doesn't happen at night, but I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Lisa, if you could just send me that email too, so I have that.
no, I did. I just sent it.
Okay, thanks.
Now I heard that Paul Kearse was on the phone. Did he have something about CJC or something else that he wanted to discuss as new business?
I don't see anything.
Do we go to connections?
Lisa, I sent a note to Lisa discussing some other places that should be checked that may have already been taken care of that were in my mind. And I don't know if something like the Andrew Flynn purchase was covered for the connection and a couple of other places. Did you get that, Lisa?
I did. I haven't looked into it yet, but they're not on my radar as far as submitting an application. But I don't know if that was prior to my time.
So Wayne, didn't we just put a stub down there for them?
Well, there are a couple of things like let's see, for the Atlantic Avenue, there is a connection from the street to the property line, but there isn't the ability for the sewer to be, when and if the house is built, and it might be a year or two from now, whatever, that sewer line can't be used until it's connected down Atlantic Avenue to beyond the Williams's driveway, which we've discussed in the past, and I think we're looking to see about making both connections. And I think that the DPW and stuff is on board to have this done before they resurface the street, Atlantic Avenue, that is on the schedule to be done in the next year or so. So that's just something to catch our attention again and sort of put it in writing so that we know where we stand. And I don't believe that the connection, that the fee has been paid for it. And I don't know if there's an application on file for it. So that's the Atlantic Avenue situation. The next one that I had, which was, I think there are two connections that were done late last year before paving of Pond Street was going to occur for some property that is owned by the Mulvey Group. And I don't know whether the putting in of those connections should trigger the fact that they now have sewer available, or whether or not it'll be sewer when and if they sell the lot and put a house on it. So that was just, I just wanted to, you know, have that in our inventory of where there is a stub to a lot that could be used. Because we wouldn't want 2 or 3 years from now, someone could say, oh, I already have a sewer connection, I'm just gonna connect the house onto it that I'm
Right.
gonna build.
Lisa, do we have on the list that you put together, do you have an indication or know that who's paid a connection fee and who's not?
Yes, I can pull that out.
Okay, maybe you could send that to everybody.
Sure.
I was sort of under the impression that that list were all people that hadn't. Let's see.
Because the only reason I'm saying that, Wayne, is I think the guy on Black Horse paid.
Yeah, I was
You
wondering
did,
about
yeah.
And I
so-
think there's a one other that I looked at. Of course, I can't remember now, but I remember the guy came before us when we could have live meetings from Black Horse, and he had paid the connection fees on that.
Right. And I was curious about Beach Street for the McNamara's. Are they already have a house there and they're already on sewer. Why are they on here now? Did they subdivide a lot, or are they putting up a new building, or what was the situation there? And then Tad Lane, is Dominic the name of the jeweler who moved the permits? So I get confused on Tad Lane versus the other names of the streets that are in that area.
Oh, yeah.
So, and because I thought that 2 of his permits were going over to, what did I say? The other street off of Jerusalem Road, Windy Hill Road. It's 2 new houses going up there. So Windy Hill isn't on this, but
But we should have it on there, right?
So Windy Hill, there's 4 lots, I believe.
On
And
14, right? Is that it?
yes, 14, 2 were already paid for. And one was paid for and one was transferred from Jerusalem Road. But I have that email somewhere.
So you said there are 4 lots on Windy Hill?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so, but there's no Windy Hill on this.
Right, because I didn't have an application per se. So the ones on this list right here are the applications I have received since I've been here.
Okay, so we really need to get applications if there's a building permit issued, it's been issued, within the last 12 months, probably maybe even sooner than that they've gone through the system without requiring it by the building inspector or the building department, it seems.
And Windy Hill just recently came up, and I have an email that I believe it was March, who was my predecessor, and it showed the 4 lots on Windy Hill and which number pertained to the lot and which was paid and which was not paid. So I can send that to you.
Yeah, but I think that there's 2 issues here. One is it should be on a list. They should have an application, and the application should be open for these 4 lots so that we can do an inspection when it's ready. I understand one of the houses on Windy Hill is almost finished, but I don't know if that's true because the builder that I talked to said I'm starting the second one. So, what do we have for an as-built plan for a new house that's on sewer that we don't have any information about? Sort of nothing. So, and this is no criticism. It's just, somewhere along the line, there was something wasn't done, and it probably was having the sign off on the building plans.
And I have a question on the Sheldon Road that's on hold through the ZBA, Lisa. My understanding is that somebody has a water line and a sewer line going to this building that they want to get approval for. But again, I don't think we've seen anything on it. No plans, nothing.
I have an application for it. And that is that was 11 Sheldon Road.
Was that the boathouse, or was that the house?
The boathouse of the Bobos, the one that's next to it. Yeah.
Back to Windy Hill, I just found the email. So lot number 33, it's location of an existing home. It's currently connected to sewer. Lot number 31 has a sewer connection privilege for one EDU paid in full by the previous owners in 2014. Lot number 34 has a sewer connection privilege for one EDU transferred from 589 Jerusalem Road. And lot 32 may be connected to sewer, but the connection fee has not been paid at the time.
Hey, Lisa, not to dispute your findings there. Is it possible to go to Dan and find out financially whether or not they have actually paid? Because I know we've had a case when I first started the board of a couple of people saying we paid, and there was no record one way or another that they did. And this is going back long enough that I think we could look into it.
So send it to Dawn or Dawn?
Dan, sorry. Excuse me, Don. I'm sorry.
Dawn.
I'm vowel challenged today.
Let's see.
Now, for something like the existing house that's going to be torn down or is torn down or whatever, if that was a small cottage versus a 6-bedroom house, that would make a difference in terms of the EDUs.
Right, and I think this is sort of going back to the sort of fundamental question is we should be looking at the plans of these things, so we should see what they're thinking about, so we're not guessing as to what's going to be constructed on the lot.
So let's see.
And we want to be aware of setbacks and things so that, sewer and water are 10 feet apart and different things that if in fact they're going in now in an area that's prone to ledge, they really should be inspected.
Yep.
So for 11 Sheldon Road, I do have an application. It came in the middle of August. They are currently connected to sewer, I believe, for a 6-bedroom.
It's a 6-bedroom house there now?
Yes. They did renovations per the building permit. They did renovations to the existing home. And they also renovated the barn. And they wanted to connect the barn to the main sewer line at the house. And right now it's in the hands of the zoning board of appeals to bring water to the barn. That's the latest that I have on this, but they did put in a sewer application for the barn to connect the barn to the main line of the house, not the street.
Did they send any drawings to that?
They sent, yep, they sent a drawing, and they sent a drawing, and right now it's in the hands of the zoning board on whether or not they can actually bring it to the barn.
Well, again, I think the board should be looking at, I mean, at least in a cursory manner, we should be seeing what these things are, so we're not sort of fumbling around here right now, so.
I don't think we've seen an application and a plan for sewers except for Hull Street in the last 2 years almost.
No, it's been a while.
So I'll scan all these in that I have and send them to you.
Okay.
And by the way, I think there should be like we almost just implied, there should be an application and a fee. For instance, for the one that the transferred EDU does not relieve the person that's going to use it to put the $1,000 fee in to take care of the inspections and that type of.
Correct. I do have a check from them as well.
Okay.
From 11 Sheldon, they did do the $1,000 fee.
Okay, I was thinking about 34 Windy Hill.
I haven't received an application for that yet.
Okay, but
Yeah.
so the so
But that is typically what I would request.
yeah, the application should be part of the building
Yeah.
permit process.
Yeah.
You know, and they should have it before the building permit is actually issued, I would think, but to prove that you have the sewer to be able to do what you're building. Okay,
Please see if you can just CC me too, so I
Sure.
can see some of that in case the question comes up.
Okay.
Are we all done with that?
yeah, I think it's great to have this done now with a little bit more formality with it.
Yeah. And the only thing I would add, Lisa, if you could, on that Excel sheet that you did, just add whether or not they've paid the betterment and what they actually paid. And and if they owe us money, sort of put a tally sheet as to what's owed so we can keep Mr. Beck happy with his receivables that are coming in. So,
Yes.
Okay.
anything else we need to address?
Anybody on the calls that want to talk?
No, I guess not.
They may
I
not be
don't see
here.
anybody. I don't see any hands or anything.
One hand, Brian Hill.
There's one mute there. I don't know if that is Brian or who. Fair warning.
Hang on. Okay, shall I unmute him?
Yeah, fine. Ask him what he wants.
Okay, hang on. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Question answer 3, so.
I am having a little trouble here. I can't do anything.
You can't?
I can't for some reason.
There's Brian Hill Sr. that's on, and there's Paul Kearse that's on, right?
And Paul signed out. Brian, if you have any questions, could you type them in?
Wayne, we might need to have your IT
Well, you know-
department look at this.
He doesn't have audio, I guess. That's probably why I can't do anything.
Can you send him a message and say, does he have a question?
Okay.
He's just here to listen.
Is Paul still on the line or no?
Paul,
Paul Kearse from the
yeah.
Affordable Housing?
No.
I see him still here, I think. Oh,
No, he's on the question and answer, but on participants, he's not.
no. Okay, gotcha. Brian. Yeah.
Brian Hill back now. I'm a single divorced living alone and want to confirm my 1/4 EDU is acceptable. What does that mean?
Oh, okay, yes, that's right. I'm sorry. That's me. So Brian put in an application for sewer at 44 Atlantic Road. Let me find that. Sorry about that, Brian. 44 Atlantic. So according to the rules,
Is that
looking at his plans, he has technically a 3-bedroom. He is saying that he's building this house just for himself, and he isn't planning on using the bedrooms as bedrooms. So he has a music room or a den and 1 bedroom. So he wanted, he's appealing to the rules, saying that he just wants to pay for a 1/4 EDU versus 3/4 EDUs.
No. The EDUs go with the house. It doesn't matter how many people are living there at the time.
Let's see.
Unless he built a 1-bedroom.
Yeah,
Well, the other thing is you have that much room, you may end up having some visitors, and absolutely it could be sold next week or next month or whatever. And
Yeah.
you know, and
Well, and the whole point is that the EDU assignment depends on the house, not who's living there at any given time.
exactly.
With 4 bedrooms, it's 1 EDU.
Right.
Period. Next question.
And that's what I explained to him, that you can call a room whatever you want, but it's a bedroom. If it has, meets a certain criteria, like windows and closets and doors, it's a room.
I think it's say what John said. It goes by the building, not by the occupants.
right.
7 under questions and answers. You have that
I'm sorry?
question and answer thing on the bottom of the screen here. It says that there are 7 people or 7 items.
Okay, so yeah, he's saying that he works from home. He has to work from home due to COVID. 1 room is an office, 1 room is a music room. There's no closet.
Well, a bedroom has to have a closet, but what it comes down to is how the room is designated, either through the Board of Health or the assessor's office.
Now, is this already built or being built?
It's being built. It's a new construction.
He's working there now in a house that's under construction. But in any case, it's whatever's on the plans.
Yeah, whatever the building department determines the number of bedrooms typically what we would use.
So is this connection already in?
No,
So it's not connected to sewer yet?
no. No, it's not been approved yet because it's at a standstill due to that, too. He's saying it was 1 bedroom and I flagged it as having 3 bedrooms.
It was 1 bedroom that was there previously?
No, it's new construction. but his application just has 1 bedroom. And when I looked at the building plans, to me, it looked like it was 3 bedrooms.
You just asked the building department to make a determination how many bedrooms there are, so it's official from them.
Okay.
That way you don't have to guess at it.
I did speak with Bob, and he did, I think he agreed with me that, but he said ultimately it's at the final inspection that where it would be determined when they go in there.
I'll bet if when it's sold at some time in the future, it won't be a 1-bedroom house.
I did
No, that's
bring
what-
up that point as well.
Yeah, that's what we have to go on, basically.
And what's the square footage of the house? Is it 500 or 600 square feet for a 1-bedroom house, or 700
No, I don't think so.
square feet?
But we're wasting a lot of time. Just get the drawings. If you have to go look at it, go look at it. Let's move on.
You just confirm with Bob. He's the one who can make that determination for you.
And as the sewer commit, has the construction of the sewer line started or anything like that? And if so, do you have the permit for that and the plan for that information? Does he have a sewer permit now for the new
No.
house? No.
No,
You should get one pretty quick, because it can't tie into the sewer unless he has an approved plan.
I have the application. I have the drawing, and it is approved up until it is approved. It's,
So he spent $1,000.
yes, he paid yes, I have his check here for $1,000. I have his application. I have the drawing. The question remained whether or not it was a 3-bedroom. So I was pushing it back to him that it's a 3-bedroom. And so he wanted to come in front of the board to plead his case about it being a 1-bedroom.
So you have a plan in front of you that says 3 bedrooms.
Not in front of me, it's on Permitize. So, yes, so when I look at that, to me, it's, the drawing is 3 bedrooms.
Is it labeled anything like 1 bedroom, 1 music room, one office?
Yeah, but that shouldn't matter.
No, I'm just,
Name it whatever you want.
no, it shouldn't matter at all. I'm just asking whether, how these rooms are labeled.
The last time I looked at it, it looked like it was 3 bedrooms. Let me just log on right now and check out.
Like you said, Lisa, if there's a window in a closet, typically it would be classified as a bedroom.
Wait a minute.
Door in a closet, I think.
Yeah, and I think as Wayne said, I don't think it's going to be sold as a 1-bedroom home, so.
So when it came in front of me first, I put it as incomplete because we needed the drawing, the sewer application. Let's see. They're listed as bedrooms. So there's a first floor bedroom and there's 2 bedrooms upstairs.
That's enough.
There you go. Okay.
Next.
Do we have anything else, Lisa, that we want to discuss?
I don't have anything.
Or anyone else, guys? Anyone else?
No, do we want to make a statement now for the record that it's a 3-bedroom house?
Yeah, I think Lisa just did that with respect to looking at the plan. So, yeah.
We agree. Thank you.
Yep.
The total square footage I have here too is 1,545, 1,545 square feet.
Including the second floor.
Yes. Let me see if he has any other questions.
One of his items was that he had a stub already that was paid for. And that might be. I do recall them applying after the project was put in for an additional stub or.
Yeah, is this a building that was demolished that would have had a stud?
No, it was a vacant lot. But I think they.
Again, I think we're still, what are we talking about here? So,
Take a look in the folder for that property.
So-
And,
This part of Little Harbor, or is it part of the down?
yeah, it was part of the Little Harbor expansion when that sewer was built up there on Atlantic.
Okay, so would it have been so there would be a betterment already assigned to it, or no?
I believe they made an application for an additional stub in anticipation of building something there. And I'm pretty sure that was approved. Again, if you look at the folder for the existing house, which is just above it, there should be something in that folder to indicate that.
Okay, but
My recollection is there was a stub that was possibly approved there.
but the stub would not have included that. I mean, they'd have to pay a betterment for it,
They
right?
would have had to pay a betterment for it, correct?
So was a betterment paid at the time?
Something to check on again. Again, look in the folder and see if my recollection is correct, but
He's saying that it was. He
then
said
we could get a canceled check from him then.
Oh, well, you go to the assessor's office, I think.
Yeah, we could do the same, but yeah.
Okay, and then that would have been to,
But there would have been paperwork, application material for the additional stub, so that should be in the folder.
And Dan, when you say it, the property above that, what do you mean?
They have owned a house above them. And this was part of their lot. I think it was broken out as a separate lot. And they requested a stub for that lot.
So would that be like 46 or 48? Is that what you mean?
Let's ask Brian. I think he said when he owned 44 Atlantic, so it might have been the same number. Oh, he's no longer on. So,
Oh, yeah, he's
Alright.
gone.
Okay,
there are just two, there's two things. You could have a stub put in, and then when you go to do something with it is what's going to dictate a little bit more today what you're going to do, right? I don't think having a stub gives you carte blanche you want with it. Because in the old days, it seemed as though we would put stubs into the vacant land. In the new days, we don't do that.
yeah, I mean, we had a fixed betterment fee, that may have been assigned to that lot as well at that time, which would have entitled them up to a 4-bedroom, I think.
So
Alright.
where does that leave us then with that information?
Again, take a look and see if you can find the folder where that additional stub might have been applied for and granted by the board.
yeah, then Wayne said check with the assessor's office if a betterment was paid for that lot.
There's a question now, if the lot was created now, even though the stub was put in, then it wouldn't necessarily be the same circumstance. But because someone could go ahead and subdivide several lots and say, I've got a stub, I can just use the same stub, whatever. I don't know.
Hold on a minute, let me just see if it was in a timely manner. Maybe we actually captured it during the project.
Did anyone have a chance to read the Mariner article about what's happening with regional sewer?
I don't read it anymore.
Like the Mariner, or just that?
The Mariner. I did look it up, however. I don't know where anybody got the information that went into that.
We are gonna be allowed to take a pronounced role though in it. So
I heard that.
Yeah.
When they're going to tell us what they want.
I know, really.
But the interesting thing was the costs were also in there, and that I don't know where they got $100 million figure either, but that should be pretty staggering to some
Well,
residents.
I think there are a lot of questions raised that we've made our position clear. B, it's up to those who would promote something else to be specific as to what it is they're talking about.
Yep.
I haven't seen any specificity whatsoever yet.
Well, I think a lot of this stuff I think we can float out at when we have our BOS meeting. And in fact, one of the comments that I got off of this Zoom call, one of the question and answers, Karen Canfield, who is on the select board in Situate, is going to watch or join in on the call whenever, next week. So I don't know whether she'll be permitted to comment or what have you, but she wants to listen in anyway. So
You probably want to look at the folder 40, Atlantic Ave. I believe that was the primary residence.
Thank you.
and also I haven't gotten the board's opinion on my new background. I mean, I worked a long time to find this one.
Well, it is
I like it. A little different angle, but I like it.
It's a recent drone picture, if you can believe it. I can't believe they go up that high.
Very
Well,
handsome. Not the background, the
All right. All right. I'll talk to you next week, Mr. Beck, as well.
Now, Dan, is yours Google Earth or what?
Oh, no, it's an old aerial folder.
What time is your, like, one thing?
All right, I'll get one.
If you could call back, because Dawn had.
I'll send this to everybody if you want it. I mean, it's
Yeah, so.
JPEG. It's pretty easy. So, I mean, if I can do it, you can do it.
Are we approaching the end?
I think we are. I think we need somebody to make a motion to end this session. As much fun as I'm having right now.
So
I'll be happy to move to adjourn.
Second, so I move that we adjourn as well.
thank you.
So we'll get together next Tuesday or Monday, right? Once we find out